My nursing degree is my international passport. Of course, like you can go to any country that you want with nursing. You can go to America, you can go to Australia, you can go to Canada, anywhere. People back home don't know that they are really gifted. To study nursing in this country, you would complete school with a debt of at least, let's say, £60,000. But you went to school back in your country, you didn't pay any of this money. Some exams that you have to write out, CBT, NCLEX, and all of that. Once you pass, you come in there and you're on the same level with them. So if your dream is to leave your country and go to any advanced country to practice, go for it. It's really good.
A lot of the nurses back home have requested a comprehensive step-by-step process as to how to become a nurse in the UK. So I'm happy that you are here. So for the sake of my viewers who are abroad, I've devised some questions that I would like you to throw some light on. I'll just kind of like stick to my questions, okay? Can you briefly introduce yourself and share your background as an overseas nurse who has become a registered nurse in the UK?
Okay. So my name is Abdul Hassan. I'm a registered nurse back in Ghana, and I used to work in Tamale Teaching Hospital. I went through all the processes involved to now become a UK registered nurse, and here I am today practicing nursing in this country.
What inspired your dream of becoming a UK nurse?
Well, a number of reasons influenced my decision to become a nurse here in this country. It all has to do with the fact that this is an advanced country, and then practicing nursing in this country gives you all of the resources that you need to be able to deliver competent nursing care to patients. And then before you kind of like exposed to modern technology to be able to just render care to patients here. Another reason has to be with the fact that you would be able to live and then work in an advanced country, and of course the money.
Yes.
I wouldn't forget of that fact, because nurses here get paid way much better than nurses back home. So these are the reasons that inspired me to start a career here in this country.
I hope that you don't have the mindset of coming here just because of the money. There are many other reasons why you can come to the UK. Going forward, what are the key qualifications and requirements for overseas nurses to become registered nurses in the UK?
Okay, so the number one thing is for an overseas nurse to have an active license and to be of good standing in his or her home country, and then you just need to just start the process.
Okay. Do you need any qualification, maybe any exams to write or?
Yeah, okay. So what happens is once you have your licenses, first of all, to start everything, you need to just create an account with NMC UK, and then just upload all necessary documents that they will request from you. And then there's a point where they have to go do their own verification. So that's why I said you need to have an active license and you need to be of good standing. So once that's been done and then you meet all their requirements, then they now invite you to take the NMC computer-based test. So it's just an online test that you do. And then once you're able to just pass it, you write an English proficiency test. And once you pass all of these two requirements, then that's it. You are good to go. All you have to do now is to look for an employer.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's easy. Don't get me wrong. I know it's not. Yeah. So I'm just curious.
Okay.
How important is English language proficiency, and are there any other exams that are commonly accepted for providing language skills?
Okay, so it's really important, because the NMC UK have to be very certain that you have a certain level of command over the English language. Being able to communicate fluently in English and then being able to understand your patients as well. So that is why they just need you to take the exams. And if you're able to take the exam and you're able to pass it, that means you definitely have a certain level of command over the language. Okay. So it's one of the best ways for them to just judge your ability to communicate fluently in English.
Okay.
Yes.
So are there any other exams that you can write as an alternative?
There are two exams. The very common one is the International English Language Testing Systems, IELTS.
Okay.
So we have the IELTS academic, that is what they require. You can also take the IELTS UKVI, that's UK Visas and Immigration. So these are the two ones that you can use when you are taking IELTS. But there's a much more better one, which is the Occupational English Language Test for nurses.
Okay.
Yes, however, I mean, it's expensive, and then I think for now it's purely computer-based in Ghana. I don't know of any other, but Nigeria you can write the paper-based test.
What challenges did you face during your journey to become a UK nurse, and how did you overcome them?
Okay, so mine had to do with the fact that I couldn't pass the English language, proficiency test during my first try.
Okay.
And then definitely I kind of like fell down when the results came out, and then I couldn't make it in just one of the aspects that they required. I couldn't make the band score that they wanted. But then I still persevered because in anything that you do, you go through challenges. So the target or the dream was to come over here. So that kept me on my toes, and then I was just able to just study hard and then pass this in the subsequent ones that I took. Once you come over, that's it, you're done. You don't have to just think about that again.
Yeah. Yes. So going forward, Mubarak,
Yeah.
we would like to know, what advice will you give to the nurses preparing for the objective structured clinical examination, OSCE?
Okay. So the objective structured clinical examination, OSCE, it's the final exam the nurses do take when they get in the UK.
So you don't have to be worried about this particular exam when you are preparing to come to the UK. You don't need that qualification to come in.
You don't need that. All you have to do, once you pass your CBT and then you pass your English language proficiency test, be it IELTS or CBT, OET, once you get in here, your trust or your employer would schedule you to be trained for the OSCE.
What?
Yeah. So OSCE is only written in the UK and not in any other part of the world. So you have to be in the UK to be able to write OSCE.
Okay.
So the advice I'll give to nurses that have made it to the UK preparing to write the OSCE is just to form subgroups. Yeah, that was what we did. We formed subgroups, and then we kept on practicing the skills and procedures by ourselves every day till we went and we wrote. And then also, definitely every skill has a checklist that you have to follow. So you could just form your groups. You come, you demonstrate the skill, and then they keep on taking everything the step by step. So once that's been done, you correct each other. In my scenario, when I got into this country and we were doing our practice, I found out that wound dressing was something that was really difficult for me to do, because it's a really technical procedure. You have to do with a lot of asepsis. Like, I kept on practicing with my peers till I thought I was okay with that skill. And the funny thing is, when I went for my OSCE, I had a procedure.
What you were scared of?
What I was scared of?
What appeared in
yes.
Oh, okay. So you just have to be 100% prepared.
Yeah. What I was scared of was actually my second procedure.
That was really amazing, and I hope you are taking notes of that.
Yeah.
What can overseas nurses expect in terms of clinical practice and patient care standards in the UK?
Okay. So obviously, the nursing here in the UK, it's different from all parts of the world. And not even in any other advanced country, because nursing here in the UK, it's more or less like a servant job. You just have to try as much as you can to meet the demands of every patient, and also things that you would do back home and you're able to go away with it. It's different here. They take petty stuff really, really serious. So once you get into the UK, try as much as you can to know your job role, your job description, things that you're supposed to do, and just play by that, play it safe. Do not indulge in anything that you know very well that it will harm you yourself. It can lead to your PIN being revoked. We have had instances where nurses got their licenses or their PIN revoked based on what was being released. It was like they forced patients to take medication. And it's one of the rights of drug administration, right to refuse. A patient has got the right to refuse a medication. And so far as a patient is deemed to have capacity, fine. If the patient tells you no, go away. Do not try to insist or to force the patient to take the medication.
I see. So is it ideal to add that taking the trainings and the laws associated to your profession in the UK is also very, very important?
It's really important. Another nurse took her license revoked because she prayed for a patient.
Prayed for a
Prayed for a
patient.
patient.
Please stick to your job.
That was just a crime, and that was how come she got her license revoked.
How can nurses continue to develop professionally and advance their career in the UK?
Okay, so in order to advance your career, every trust has a certain amount of money allocated to every nurse. So for my trust, it's like £1,200.
Okay.
So with this amount of money, you can just use it to do certain basic courses. I have friends who have really taken advantage of that, and then they could just go to the uni once in a week or just once in a month just to get some kind of like training. The other way is after you have saved the trust for a while, let's say 5-6 years, you get to a band 6 and all of that, they would be able to sponsor you to just go and then do a professional course. That is if you want to become a nurse practitioner. Another way is for you to just do a program that you would like to do, self-funded by you. So these are the ways that you can advance your career as a nurse here in the UK.
Interesting. There seem to be lots of career progression in the nursing sector.
Yeah.
Are there any resources or support networks you found particularly helpful during your journey in becoming a UK nurse?
Kind of like I found everything that I needed on YouTube. I didn't use any website whatsoever. Even my English language preparation test, I used to follow people on YouTube. People do create content on that, and just as you're doing. So I would recommend YouTube. There are good content creators out there, just like you are, who would really give you all the information that you need in order to just go through the process and then get here.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting. So I know some people, some overseas nurses coming into the UK, some of them do use agencies. Did you use any agency during your time in?
So if you are from a red list country, you can't be recruited by an agency. But what you can do is just to send a direct email application to the trust that you would like to go to.
In other words, to the hospital?
Yeah, to the hospital. So during my time, there were this list of emails for various trusts. So those were the ones that I applied to.
Okay.
Yes. Another way is if you already know someone that's in the UK, the person can recommend you to the hospital he or she is working in, and then they can just pick you up. And then you go through the process, they sponsor you to come over.
Okay, I think it's a very, very good point.
Yeah.
So how long did the whole process take you from the time you started your IELTS writer till the time you got into the UK?
Honestly, I didn't feel this was real or it was true. The day I made a decision to write the exam was when my colleague showed me a picture of his visa. So I asked him, so are you telling me with this you'll be able to get to UK? He said yes. Like, are you sure this isn't a scam? He said yes. I'm like, okay, that's interesting. So I went home and I was still didn't believe it. So I picked my phone and I went to Google and I searched for skilled worker visa on Google.
Yeah.
Just to find out and compare that to what my friend had.
And it was
and it was exactly. So I called him and I told him, look, I'm convinced and then I'm willing to take the exams. So I just called him and I was like, okay, when is the next available date to take the exams without any resources, nothing.
You did not even prepare.
I did not even prepare. So the next available date was on the 19th of June. So that's like 2 weeks away. I booked the exams right away. So I booked and then I started preparing. So from 5th June, I started the process from 5th June. On 4th January 2022, I was in this country. So let's just say a period of 6 months.
A period of 6 months?
Yeah, within 6 months, I was able to get done with everything.
Wow. And within these 6 months, he did mention earlier that he had to write IELTS 3 times.
Yeah, it depends on the individual. People do take 1 year. It all depends on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know people that took a whole year to study out.
And it's okay if you take more time to just get what you want to. Yeah. Don't just give up, like he said earlier.
Do not give up. Giving up is not an option from where you come from. You know that very well.
Right. So So if you give up, you are not in our group. Now, could you walk us through the NMC registration process involved for overseas nurses?
Sure.
Open your browser and then type NMC online.
Once again, my name is Fatimata Ali. If it's your first time on this channel, please don't forget to subscribe. If you do that, you are supporting me. Like and share. And if you are a returning subscriber, that means a lot to me. Thank you so much. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.